I was not expecting you to go back that way.
I apologize.
I'll record down here.
Sorry, I don't have one of those cool things that he does. Okay. So one reason you should be a vegan is it improves your health. You're less likely to get cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. You're less likely to be overweight. You're less likely to consume pesticides in your food. A lot of meats have different pesticides in them. And you have a better immune system to fight disease. The China-Oxford Cornell study proved that what the average American eats, they eat 7 times the rate of meat that causes heart disease. Women that eat meat have 5 times, are more likely 5 times to get breast cancer. Meats versus plants. For those who get 5 or less % of their protein from meat, are less likely to get all these diseases: heart disease, cancer, and diabetes. If that makes sense, what that is if you're a vegan, you get 5% of your daily income would be meat. 4 times the amount of pesticides. There are 14 times the amount of pesticides in animals than there are in plants. And pesticides mostly are more likely to stay in fatty foods such as meat rather than plants. This is the New England Journal of Medicine. What it is for breastfeeding women is the lowest amount or the highest amount of pesticides in the pesticides were in their breast milk that they're giving to their babies was the same amount as the lowest amount for the non-vegetarian women. So the highest and the lowest were exactly the same. And some people might be concerned, being a vegan, you might not get your protein, because a lot of protein does come from meat. But as you can see, you can get protein from fruits, nuts and seeds, grains, vegetables, and beans. So meat isn't the only way you can get protein. Another reason to be a vegetarian is it saves the earth. It saves land, it saves more water, it saves more energy, and there's less waste. One acre of land to make pounds of potatoes is for 1 acre of land you can make 20,000 pounds of potatoes. On that same amount of land you can only have 165 pounds of beef. So land is being used more usefully. 260 million acres of forest land are ruined for agriculture and for meat diets. So for that land, it's better to, have it be useful. Topsoil loss. It takes 500 years for nature, naturally, to grow 1 acre of topsoil. So, this is, okay, so people, for 2.5 acres of land, these are what can be made for the following foods: beef, eggs, milk, and chicken. As you can see, are significantly lower than wheat, corn, rice, potatoes, and cabbage. So again, the land is being used a lot more usefully. And also, you save water, being a vegan. Over the half of the water used in the U.S. is used to feed the livestock, the cows and the chickens and the pigs. It takes 100 times as much water to produce meat than it does to produce wheat. So water used to produce an average American diet. There's 4,000 gallons for a typical meat-eating American. There's 1,200 gallons for a vegetarian and 300 gallons for a vegan. And this is how much water is used to produce certain amounts of food. So beef, pork, and chicken, it takes this many gallons of water just to produce a pound of these. And it only takes this much to produce apple, carrots, wheat, potatoes, tomatoes, and lettuce. So as you can see, we're using water is more useful. Okay, it also saves energy. Worldwide petroleum reserves would be gone in 11 years if the rest of the world were to eat like an average U.S. American. Energy is less efficient. Energy is more efficient in plant food. It's 10 times as efficient as most meat foods. This is how much fossil fuel is used to make 1 calorie of protein for various foods. So to make beef would be 54, and as you can see, that it's a lot more than wheat, corn, and soybeans. Being a vegan also helps waste. Livestock produces 250,000 pounds of waste per second. That's 20 times as much humans produce in a large city. Like, that's how much humans can produce in one large city that they produce per second. Animal waste is also washed into rivers, which increases phosphate, ammonia, bacteria, and decreases the oxygen content. The meat industry accounts for 3 times as much harmful organic waste as much as the rest of the industries in the United States combined. Another reason to be a vegan is it prevents animal cruelty. Nobody wants animals to suffer, but every time you eat a piece of meat, that's what you're doing. 8 billion animals are killed each year in the U.S. to consume for 1 meat-eating America will eat 24 animals a year on average. 8 billion animals killed every year. Oh yeah, I just said that, sorry. Animals are raised in, like chickens are raised in cramped corners. Their beaks are cut off so they don't peck at each other and kill each other. And a lot of animals are pumped full of various drugs to kill disease and to help them grow faster rather than what nature would be intended for them. And when they get older and the chickens and the cows stop producing the amount that they're supposed to, they are used for low-grade meats such as fast food and hot dogs. This would be what a chicken farm looks like. As you can see, they're all cramped. And if you guys don't want to look at the next picture, you don't have to. But the next picture would be what a cow looks like pumped up with drugs to reduce the amount of milk needed. So, as you can see, being a vegan will not only help you, it'll help animals, and it'll help the earth. So, what you have right now is a vegan dish. It's vegan brownies. So, being a vegan, that doesn't mean eating nasty foods. They're still good.